Hey, what's up Reefers? I have been meaning to make this video for a very long time, and it is my top 9 favorite Reef Aquarium tools. Interesting thing about this list is that not all of these tools are created for the Reef Aquarium hobby. In fact, a lot of these are not even created for aquarium hobby in general. These are just everyday tools that I found extremely helpful in my Reef Aquarium journey. As always, during the introduction of any of these tools, you can always find the link to this tool on either Amazon, bulk reef supply, or the manufacturer's link, wherever you can buy these. I should have a link in the video description below. I'll be talking a lot in this video already, so I'm not gonna spend more time talking here. Let's go ahead and jump right in. For our very first item, let's get the obvious one out of the way first. The Kasa Smart Plug Power Strip. It is currently on sale as of the making of this video with this super low price of $15 for 2 single outlets, $27 for 3 outlets, or $47 for 6 outlets. You get a smart power strip that you can program. For example, you can put your aquarium or refugium lights on a timer, you can put your auto feeder on a timer, you could even create a routine where each set of plugs go off in a certain order for a set amount of time. You could even connect each outlet with Amazon's Echo and use voice command. For most hobbyists, a smart power strip will cover most of what we need before we dive into the much more expensive and complex aquarium controller. As someone that loves a clean look above an aquarium, the lights for all 3 of my aquariums are hung from the ceiling. Now when hanging a light, ideally I would screw a hook into a wood joist. However, as we all know, most of the time it is usually just drywall where we want the hooks to go. Enter the toggle bolts. Toggle bolts or swag hook comes with a hook assembly for drywall ceiling that is strong enough to hold most aquarium lights. And not to mention that it is super easy to install even for a non-DIYer like myself. For what a game changer it is for hanging lights or just things in general. It is the second item that I would highly recommend to look into for the reefing hobby. For the third item on this list, I would like to finally look at something that's Reef Aquarium specific. It is a 3D printed feeding port from Aquatics. This is a very niche product specifically for hobbyists that uses a screen top over the aquarium. A screen top is great because it keeps all the fish from jumping out of your reef tank and still allow for gas exchange. However, it is a pain in the butt during feeding time. And Aquatics solved this problem by a very easy to install port that would fit in most of the existing screen tops. Now I just have to pop open the port door to feed my fish or hand those trace elements. Neat and highly recommended. Next up we have a tie. I absolutely love my VeeGee STX3 Refractormeter, followed closely by the Hanna Salinity checker. While the Hanna is super convenient and also gives a temperature reading, which is always a plus, it does require calibration every 3 months to stay consistent. And this is where the VeeGee Refractometer shines. Not to be confused with the regular Reef Aquarium Refractometer that goes for around $20, this one costs 4 to 5 times as much, even though it is currently on sale on Amazon for about $100, and normally it goes for about $150. So why does it cost so much? The reading is bright and clear, the build quality is noticeably more solid and hefty, and most importantly, it holds its salinity calibration extremely well. It is pricey compared to the alternatives, but to me, I'm willing to shell out the extra bucks. I have had this particular unit for almost 3 years at this point, and while I spot check as well as check it against the Hanna Salinity checker, I have not had to recalibrate the VeeGee even once ever since I've received it. I love the VeeGee Refractometer and the Hanna Salinity checker, though the VeeGee does edge out all the other competitors by how reliable it is, and this is the number 4 on my list. I would like to thank today's video sponsor, Magic Spoon. Magic Spoon cereal is your favorite childhood cereals reinvented. With 14 to 15 gram protein, 4 to 5 gram net carbs, and 0 gram of sugar, it is great for a carb-conscious lifestyle without sacrificing the great taste. Click the link below to get some Magic Spoon cereal today. You can build your very own variety box and use my code REEFER for $5 off. You can choose from the best-selling coca, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, cookies and cream, and maple waffle flavors, plus other awesome flavors, including honey nuts, blueberry muffin, birthday cake, and cinnamon roll. You can also add the cookies and cream and cocoa peanut butter flavor cereal bars to your variety box. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. So click the link below and use the code REEFER for $5 off, or go to magicspoon.com/reefer to save $5 off your order today. Also, for my Canadian and British fans, Magic Spoon also ships to Canada and the UK. Thank you again to Magic Spoon for being today's sponsor, and let's get back to the video. I have mentioned this fifth item on this list multiple times, so I'll keep this one short. It is the Home Depot's brand wet-dry vacuum called the Buckethead. It is a contraption that snaps onto an existing 5-gallon bucket and turns it into an extremely useful wet-dry vacuum. A wet-dry vacuum is especially useful if your sump is on the ground and you cannot create a strong enough siphon in order to suck out all the gunks or detritus. And this $30 item makes cleaning up my sump a snap, since my sump is sitting on the ground. And mine lasted for years, even when working with salt water. Recommend it. My sixth item on this list is the Alkatronic. It is one of the first auto testers for alkalinity on the market. I started my 135-gallon reef tank aiming to go high-tech, wanting to personally try expensive reefing gadgets to see if they really help that much with my reef keeping and if they're worth their cost. My overall experience with high-tech reefing has been a mixed bag, but out of all the high-tech products that I found worth their value, the Alkatronic took the #1 spot, even with its large price tag of $1,000. I have ran the Alkatronic for 2 years at this point, and it had been almost flawless with super affordable reagents. It worked out to something like 5 cents per test or somewhere in that range. While I cannot speak to the other alkalinity auto testers, the Alkatronic has been a game changer for me when it comes to keeping my alkalinity stable in the 135. I would go as far as saying that I would most likely never attempt another reef tank with a decent amount of SPS without some sort of auto tester for alkalinity. It has really made keeping alkalinity stable possible and even easy. For this reason, the Alkatronic makes it onto my list of top reefing gear even with the hefty price tag. Okay, so the last item was really tacky and also expensive, so let's switch it up a bit. The number 7 item on my list is a pair of short, stiff, stainless steel tweezer with good treads that I found on Amazon for $2.33. I have used this specific one for a while, and as you know, removing xenia and clove corals in a reef tank can become a huge pain when they get onto the main rock structures. You cannot pull out the rock to scrub it, you just have to deal with it inside the tank, and that's where I'm at right now. I use a combination of applicator to snuff them out and also manual removal with this particular tweezer often. When new, this tweezer has excellent grip. It is short and stiff enough to allow for your full force to be applied onto gripping even the slimiest xenia stock. If you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. It is simply an excellent tweezer and an excellent value. I have tried rubber and silicone tipped tweezers and forceps, none has worked as efficiently as this cheap little tool. And for that, this $2.33 tweezer has earned the number 7 spot on the best reefing gear. The 8th item on this list is another niche product. It is FishOfHex CO2 scrubber attachment. If you are struggling with low pH, I'm sure you have explored the potential use of a CO2 scrubber. While I would recommend looking into pulling in fresh air for your skimmer and using kalkwasser first before going down this route, if you do end up going with a CO2 scrubber, I would recommend going with FishOfHex 3D printed skimmer attachments. Travis has created custom attachments for most of the skimmers out of the market right now, and the whole setup looks really professional, is really neat, and it just works beautifully. I tried to DIY this myself and the result did not compare to after I switched to his. So once again, I'll definitely recommend looking into this if you're looking into CO2 scrubber. Now bonus tip, if you end up going for CO2 scrubber route, get the 5-gallon jug of color changing soda line from shopmedvet.com. It works great and is a fraction of the cost of an aquarium branded one. Alright, and here we are. Here is the 9th and final item on my list of best reef aquarium gears in my opinion. The legendary yellow gloves. I have raved and raved about these shoulder-length cotton-lined rubber gloves. These are fantastic when working in a fish tank, both from preventing things getting onto your hands, but more importantly, for us die-hard hobbyists, to keep the lotion, the chemicals, or the weird crap on our hand from getting into the reef tank. These days, whenever I need to stick my hands into the tank, I just very quickly slide the gloves on and jam my hands in. I no longer need to think about whether my hands are reef tank ready or not. Recommending this pair of gloves may sound small, but it really has been a game changer for me. This pair of gloves is also the perfect thickness for excellent protection when moving live rocks. You just don't know what's chilling underneath that rock that you're about to lift. But it's also nimble enough to allow me to handle cutting and gluing SPS frags with no issue at all. It is just excellent all around. Now interestingly, I see Walter White and Jesse in Breaking Bad using these same pair of gloves too, and I do see like guest appearance of this pair of gloves in different movies. So if it's good enough for Heisenberg, it's good enough for me. So that was my top 9 tools of the Reef Aquarium hobby at the moment. And now it's your turn. In the comments below, I would love to hear what is your favorite Reef Aquarium tool, and bonus point for it being something that is a everyday household object, not something that's built specifically for the hobby. I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I'll see you next video. That's nuts. Now, that's what you get for not QTing your corals, right? Inappropriate reefer.